Welcome to Backseat Confessions Podcast. Slide into the backseat as we listen to mostly anonymous strangers tell us stories from their lives. I'm a rideshare driver in Atlanta, and the people getting in my car have absolutely no idea I'm going to ask them to share. My commitment to you is to tell at least a snippet of virtually every story recorded in my car in the order they were told to me. My hope is that you laugh, cringe, cry, but mostly connect to these amazing people. You may find a piece of your own story or just feel more connected to the rest of us. Join us, won't you? So, hey, my new friend. This is an adult podcast. Themes and languages are definitely not suitable for everyone. Listener discretion is advised. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gents. So glad you are taking time to hang out with me and listen to the 7 different riders we have today. And if you're enjoying the show so far, please tell someone about it. That's the most important. And also, give it a rating on your pod platform of choice. It means so much in helping make this a successful podcast. Okay, buckle up, peoples. It's that time again. Our first riders today are a cute couple, and they share a story mostly from the boyfriend's perspective on their first trip out of the country and how he managed to win some brownie points.
Story number 127. Friday, February 5th, 2021, 11:09 p.m.
Okay, my story is a bit of an old story with me and my girlfriend. So
Okay.
maybe, when was it? It was some years ago. I was
3 years ago.
probably like 3-4 years, I would say.
Okay.
But we were young. We were around 18, 19 years old, and
Yeah.
this was our first trip together out of the country.
Yeah.
And we went to Mexico, Cancun, Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And we both was super lit the whole trip. We got drunk the first day we touched down.
Nice.
And it started off real good.
I love the way you say
And it just went downhill real fast.
that. Oh, no.
Alright, so this was her actual first time drinking. This wasn't my first time, but
Okay.
I wasn't like a pro or anything,
Yeah.
but this was her first time like getting like really messed up.
Okay.
And we were on the beach and we were drinking. I remember we were drinking Bacardi,
Yeah.
and we was, I forgot how far was our Airbnb, like probably a 10-minute walk from the beach. Nah, it was probably 10 minutes, because when we got in that it was 5 to 10 minute walk from
Yeah.
our Airbnb.
Yeah.
But
And we were in the hood.
yeah, so we're chilling on the beach, maybe like 15-20 minutes into sitting in the sand relaxing.
Yeah.
She get the giggling,
Yeah.
laughing, and then she started making like snow angels in the sand.
Right.
And that's when I knew, like, she was lit. She was,
Yeah.
yeah, She want to take over.
Okay.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because he left out some important details.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am. And I have
so-
your permission to use your voice and story and media platforms too, right?
Yes,
Okay,
you do.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so I had tried to drink before, but I'm not, I don't really smoke or drink because I have a super high tolerance.
Oh, okay.
And so he was feeling nice, and he looked over at me and he said, "How you feeling?"
Yeah.
And I knew he was feeling nice, and I got a little jealous.
Uh-oh.
So he looked away for like 2 seconds, and I downed like half a bottle of Bacardi.
Oh,
straight
snap.
in
Oh,
like
snap.
a few seconds. And he looked back and he's like, "Oh no!" And he's trying to snatch the bottle from me. And I was like, "No, this is my friend."
Ooh.
And next thing I know, I was doing snow angels in the sand, like he said. I just wanted to sleep on the beach. People were looking at me. I actually wanted to do something else on the beach.
I'll bet. Yeah, of course. Now that you got the liquor into you.
and I'm out of the country.
Yeah.
I'm with my boyfriend.
Oh, of course.
Feeling drunk for the first time.
It's time to get freaky in the sand.
Right.
Yeah.
And there were people further down on the beach. It had already started to get dark outside.
Yep.
He was trying to get me up to go to the hotel.
Right.
And I didn't want to move.
Oh.
And they really thought like I was in danger.
Wow.
Like this man was trying to just take me from the beach.
Oh, no. Wait. So people thought that. Okay, yeah. So people thought you were being kidnapped.
Yes.
They must have thought that I was trying to get her drunk to take advantage of her or something.
Yeah.
Because the way they were looking at me, I was trying to help her out the sand. I was trying to help her out the beach.
Right.
I was telling her, we gotta go. We need to go back to the room.
Right.
She was too lit.
Yep.
She just didn't want to move. She kept on laughing. She kept on saying stuff like, "I never felt like this before."
That's amazing.
I was gonna do
And
it.
she wanted me to call her mom and stuff.
Oh, no.
It was real crazy. And then I end up getting her out of the beach.
Yep.
And we're walking. I'm trying to get her to walk, but she won't walk. She want to sit down. So I see someone drive by. I forgot. It's some dude.
They don't have like taxis and stuff.
It's it was just regular transport for tourists.
Okay.
And they were driving by, and I asked if he could just lend us a ride down the street because our Airbnb wasn't that far.
See
We're
it from where we were.
right,
Okay,
but it's
yeah.
just the walk. We wasn't gonna make it the way
Yeah.
she was, and I was trying to help her, and I was messed up myself,
Of
so
course.
it was it wasn't good. So we end up getting in the little truck, and 2 minutes into the truck, not even 2 minutes, I'm talking about, she completely throw up all in the back seat of his truck.
Oh.
And the man, he's mad. He don't even know English. He just talking to me. And I'm like, I'm going to clean it up. I'm just talking to him. I end up taking off my shirt
Yeah.
and just wiping it off. But it was crazy. That was just one of our trips we had.
Wow.
That was real
But you're
different.
Yeah. But that's a good boyfriend. But that's funny. Earlier on, you're trying to help your girlfriend out, get her back to where she's in a hotel or the Airbnb or whatever,
Right.
and you're getting accused of trying to take advantage of her, and
Right.
then she throws up, and you're wiping it up your shirt. I mean, you should win at least boyfriend of the month award
Right.
or something.
I took
Okay.
a big
said you
W that trip.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that should count for
Got good
a
brownie
while.
points for that one.
I like it. Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that story. That's great.
No problem.
I love their spirit, and they just seemed like such a cool, fun couple. I will say that it freaked me out a little bit thinking about how, while he was actually trying to help his girlfriend in her intoxicated state, people thought he might have been trying to kidnap her or harm her in some way. This hits close to home for me as a guy who has definitely tried to be helpful in certain situations, and you're honestly just hoping that people don't ascribe negative intentions to what you're trying to do. Anyways, glad it all ended well, and it's just a funny story for them now. So now we get to hear a story almost exclusively from the girlfriend in this relationship. As you'll see, I find her to be incredibly delightful.
Story number 128. Friday, February 5th, 2021, 11:16 p.m.
So, back in high school, well, just in general, I've always been very comfortable being myself and being silly and being weird and just different.
Good for
And
you.
so, I've always embraced that and tried to have my people embrace that.
Right.
And I met my boyfriend in middle school. We reconnected in high school when he came back down here.
Yeah.
And that's when we first started dating. And I used to do just weird stuff like, for instance, one time I asked him, I said, how did you know that I really liked you?
Yeah.
And he told me that it was the day that I was humping his calf muscle in the hallways while everybody was walking to the buses. And I could tell he was genuinely embarrassed for me. Like, normally he would laugh at my jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was really just like, no, get up, for real, like, because he was concerned, like, people would think I was weird. And I was like, well, if I stop humping his leg now, he's gonna think I'm weird.
Wait, what is the thing you did to his calf?
I was humping his
You
calf
said humping.
muscle.
Okay, for a
yes,
second.
in front of everyone. And
I
he
love
could
that
not move.
so much.
And he was truly embarrassed for
Yeah.
me. And he's used to my jokes, but I think that was just different for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if I stop now,
Yeah.
he's not gonna want to talk to me. He probably gonna be like, oh, okay, and try and laugh it off, and then he gonna see me later on and avoid me in the hallway. So I was like, I had to commit to it
I love
until
that.
he's laughing like I'm laughing.
Right.
And then I know we're locked in. And that's actually what let him know that I was really into him. So I
Yeah.
used to just do crazy stuff like that.
That's so cool.
And one time we were at a football game, and I think it was like one of our first times we ever actually got to like be alone on like a little date type of situation. And we were just really feeling each other and being grown. Too
Yep.
grown for high school.
I get it.
And we never had really done anything like sexual wise.
Yeah.
And we never really had the place or time to do that.
Right. Yeah.
So I kind of just stuck my hand in his pocket one day while we was like walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I just kind of took care of him, and it just shocked him because like people were walking around. I'm like, just be chill, like I got you.
Dude, you are the coolest girlfriend ever.
Oh, thank
Legit.
you.
Like, that's amazing.
And it was just one for the books. He never
Heck
let me
yeah.
forget that. And I was just like, that just kind of set the tone to let him know, like, okay,
Like,
we're just gonna do what we want and
Yeah.
just live life to the fullest. So
I love
and
that.
we have not stopped doing crazy stuff yet.
Oh, that's amazing. You're adorable, and you are. I love that you are got this, like, quirky personality. Because I was thinking about humping a
you.
leg. Yes. So here's the deal. Most of the time, when you hear of somebody humping somebody's leg, 9 times out of 10, it's a dude humping somebody's leg, whether it's a girl's leg, right? But it was you as this, and of course the people can't see you, but you're genuinely beautiful. Like, you're not, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yes, no, totally. But it's inside and out, of course.
Thank
and
you.
you're quirky, which that's unusual. I'm just gonna tell you, not many pretty girls are quirky like that, where they just be willing to do something nuts to show someone they love them. That's really cool. And then the pocket, getting your guy off in public through the pocket, that is, I mean, if he ever dumps you, he's definitely an idiot. Right, yeah.
I'm boss.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, I mean, that's a keeper. After that, like, she's the one.
Right.
I love it. Well, you guys are amazing, and thank you for participating and just for being in my car tonight. You guys are awesome. I love
Thank
your
you.
vibes.
You too.
All right. Take care, guys.
You as well.
I really love how she especially keeps the relationship spicy by just being a little different and quirky. One of the secrets to a long and healthy relationship is that you have to keep learning about your partner. If you end up feeling you know all there is to know about them, you start to get bored. And that is no bueno. So, if you're a parent, there are certain scenarios that are the things nightmares are made out of. This next young lady tells her story of just one such nightmare.
Story number 129. Friday, February 5th, 2021, 11:33 p.m.
So this happened when I was about 15 or 16.
Okay.
And I was new to Atlanta. I'm from like a small town in the Midwest.
Yes, ma'am.
And, you know, being curious, I get up on the internet trying to find friends or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I start chatting with this girl. I'm just going to call her Dominique.
Dominique.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So start chatting with Dominique. And I think it's someone my own age
Yeah.
who I'm chatting with. And we decided to meet up one day.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday, didn't have any homework, whatever.
Yeah.
And I go out clear to the other side of town, like took 2 trains and like a whole long bus ride just to meet up with this random person that I didn't know.
Jeez. Wow.
So I get off the bus and this guy comes up to me and he was like, "Hey, are you Jasmine?" I'm like, yeah.
Oh.
And like, I already look very young, so just imagine
Right.
what I look like at 16.
Oh, that's
like a little
horrifying.
baby.
Yeah.
So this guy comes up to me and he was like, "Yeah, are you Jasmine?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, okay, well, my sister Dominique's at the house. I'm just going to take you up there. She was in the middle of doing something." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Just being real naive and stupid.
Oh, no.
Watch your freaking kids.
Right? What is that show, To Catch a Predator or
Yeah.
Dateline or something? I mean, obviously you're in my car, you're okay. So, sorry, I'm just having this like, oh. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So, he like starts walking me, like it's like a residential area.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, like we're actually going to like a real house.
Yeah.
And I start feeling like real uncomfortable. I have my freaking clarinet with me because I had private lessons that day. Huge dork.
You're a literal band nerd.
Yes,
oh
literal
my
band nerd.
God.
So I like start feeling uncomfortable. Like, you know what? I actually have to go back home because I have my clarinet with me. You know, it's a lot lugging this around.
Yeah.
So I'ma go.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Are you sure? Like, you know, like we're almost there." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'll just like, you know, just tell your sister that I'll just meet up with her later."
Yeah.
And like, I just freaking put my clarinet up under my arm and like start speed walking
Yeah.
away. And
Thank
I don't
God.
know, like, I guess like my intuition started kicking in, like there's something wrong. And I did grow up like watching To Catch a Predator.
Right. Yeah. for
So
sure.
I knew I was like, something ain't right here.
Something right here. Oh my God.
But yeah, that was like the most terrifying
Right.
moment of my life, I think.
Yes, because can
Yeah.
you imagine just what
Ending
if
up
you,
on the first 48.
Yes, I mean, if you hadn't listened to that little voice, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
God knows. Oh my goodness. Well, Jasmine, I am grateful, so grateful that you didn't get caught up in that. And you're right, because podcast people can't see you, but you're a very small person. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine you at 15. You would have been a wisp.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So okay, I have to ask, did you tell your parents right away or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay, yeah, because I would have lost my ever-loving mind if you'd been my child. Oh my God, I've been so
No, if
terrified.
I would have told my dad,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we probably would have been back up there and he would have ended
yeah.
up in jail.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
oh.
Yeah, there would have been one dude that was not feeling very well after that. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm with
definitely.
him. Gosh. Well, you made it out, and now it's just a scary, crazy story. So
Yes.
that's all's good that ends good.
I watch over all my nieces and nephews like crazy now.
Yeah, I'll bet you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Obviously, I'm beyond grateful she was able to escape unharmed. But crazy, crazy stuff. And so sad that you even have to be aware of such perversity. I can't wait for the world to become a place where kids can just be kids and not have to worry about adults trying to harm them. Let it be. Let it be. Okay. This just cracks me up so much and takes my mind off the nastiness of the last story. If I had to pick a favorite genre of story that I get told, I'd say funny sex stories just, really take the cake.
Story number 130. Saturday, February 6th, 2021, 1:47 a.m.
My story is one time while a man was fucking me,
Yeah.
my dog Fluffy
Yes.
decided to lick his ass
Oh.
while we were while he was in me.
That's
So
amazing.
his reaction was he looked at me and he looked at Fluffy and
Yeah.
he said, "Get your fucking dog off of me." He was shocked. He was very shocked. I was shocked too,
Yes,
but
yes.
usually I keep Fluffy in the cage and cover him
Yeah.
while I'm, doing the adult stuff, but
Yes.
that just happened to be a day. Yeah. Fluffy was interested in what we were doing.
Right.
So,
Well, and come to think of it, dogs sniff your butt, right? So, he was just doing what dogs do.
yeah,
Gosh,
but
I cannot even imagine.
yeah, the wrong time.
That would have
Wrong time. I think
me
Fluffy
out.
is gay.
He might be.
Yeah, Fluffy loves men.
He loves
so,
men.
Yes.
Oh, what a fantastic story. Did this man, did he ever come back over to the house and engage in some more coitus with you?
When he did,
Yeah.
he told me to keep Fluffy in the cage.
I can see that. Yeah.
He was very.
Yeah. He was
traumatized.
He was a little traumatized.
He was traumatized about it, so he was a little worried. So he was like, "Yo, keep Fluffy in the cage."
Hey.
But he definitely came back for some more.
Okay. Well, that's all on you. But let's look at this from the bright side. At least he didn't enjoy it from the dog.
At least,
right?
I
'Cause
would have
that's a
been
problem.
very freaked out
Yeah.
if he enjoyed it.
That's right. So
I probably would have kicked him out.
that's right. Yeah. So we're gonna go with funny, but at least it went the right way. So, anyways, but thank you so much for sharing that amazing story.
No problem. This is Penelope. You guys have a good night.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my
Bye.
pleasure. There you go. You're in the middle of just really getting in there and enjoying sexy time with your lady, and a random tongue that you aren't aware of licks your booty hole? Uh-oh. No. That's a no-go. Yep, I can see why from then on, Fluffy just can't be trusted when Mama is getting her freak on. Our next writer shares vulnerably about the special person that she would risk everything for, but it just hasn't happened yet. Or maybe it won't happen ever.
Story number 131. Saturday, February 6th, 2021, 2:53 a.m.
So I was in college,
Yep.
and I thought that I never wanted to date anybody seriously.
You mean like ever,
I
or
suppose.
just in college you didn't want to date?
Like ever.
Okay.
Kinda, yeah. My parents had just gone through kind of a rough divorce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were married my whole life and
Yeah.
waited till I was 18, so I kind of was like, why do we be so serious?
Yeah. Fair.
But then
met this guy, and I was like head over heels.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know if it was mutual, so honestly can't remember how it started, but we both were met in a bar.
Yeah.
And I was just head over heels, like sold. And just gone.
Yep.
Like whatever you say goes, fine. But then we kept hooking up as the story goes.
Yeah.
Years pass. And I was like, I dated people on and off in between.
Yep.
And I told them, I was like, I am not ready to commit to anything serious.
Yeah.
But then with this guy, if he had asked me, I would have been.
You'd have been in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For this one person, I was willing to settle down, I guess, be serious. But we never really got to that point.
Yeah. So, like, where is he in your life right now? Like,
we are not talking at all.
Okay.
He lives in a completely different city.
Yeah. Okay. If by some strange twist of fate in 5 years he comes back in your life and I'm right, and all of a sudden he's like, you know what, you're the girl I was always hoping, or whatever that looks like. Are you at the point where you're like, I'm still into him enough?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So this is not like, God, that's more than a crush, isn't it? I don't know.
Yes.
I think we got to upgrade him. Yeah. That's like a serious, like, heart. I don't even know what the term is, but whatever it is, that's the real deal.
Yeah.
Man.
I know, but now he lives in Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. Does he? I mean, I assume you did, but maybe not. But did you ever let him know what your
no.
feelings? So he doesn't know the intensity you're feeling. Oh shoot. Okay.
And that's one of my biggest regrets, honestly.
Okay.
I had friends who told me you have to tell him how you feel, or at least invite him. So we were in college and we were in sororities and fraternities. It's so cliche.
Right, of course.
You should invite him on this or do this, and I never did. And I always have regretted that.
Yeah. Well, life's not over. And you got a lot of life ahead of you. So who knows? Maybe there'll come this time when you're like, you know what, Bob. Unless I know his name. Yeah.
Bob, yes.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and so for now, it goes into that, like, aching, heartbreaking little place of, like, shoulda, woulda, coulda, which, you know what? I think all of us have some version of that somewhere where, like, they're the boy or the girl that we should have been like, man, I think the absolute world of you, and we never told them. So there's definitely there's no shade being thrown your way, because we've all done it. We've all been there.
Thank you. It's like, it's so hard.
It is.
Honestly.
It is. And whenever you're that invested, it also feels like a massive risk.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because we've all, especially as a guy, like when you've asked a girl out and she turns you down, it hurts for like, a couple of minutes and you move on to your life, whatever. But somebody that you're like literally willing to settle down with, and then if they were to turn you down, it would just
it was such a risk. Honestly, that's how it was.
Well, I hope that if you ever get the chance, if it ever feels right, that you get an incredible dose of bravery and just go for it.
Thank you.
Right? Because at the worst, because logically, worst case scenario is he says no, you're in the exact same place you're in now, right?
I would hate that. That'd be so sad.
I know, but you wouldn't be in a worse position, So, anyways, but thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Part of the human experience is that you never quite know how your life would be different if you had chosen a different path or said that thing or whatever it is. In her case, though, I hope she gets the bravery to at least share her heart, because even though it feels overwhelming and terrifying, she really has nothing to lose other than the fantasy of what it could have been. Of course, maybe deep down, she doesn't want to know the actual answer to if this guy would give her a chance. But, in my opinion, it's better to know. Our next rider has one of the scariest things happen to her that one can imagine. It is crazy how quickly the most extreme moments in our life can change everything in just seconds.
Story number 132. Saturday, February 6th, 2021, 3:08 a.m.
One crazy moment that I had in my life was I met this guy at the club. He was mad nice, super exciting, and we had a lot of drinks. He bought me drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
I wound up going back home with him.
Okay.
And before I can even get back into the car for him to take me home, he robs me.
No, this is after you guys have been together? Like, did you guys have sex and everything?
No, we didn't have
Okay.
sex or anything.
Okay.
We just were kicking it at his house. I get
Yeah.
back into the car. I guess he's seen how much money I had in my purse, and he robs me.
No.
Yes, robs me at gunpoint. I had to get out the car and run and call the police. The police literally took like 45 minutes.
Oh, Betty, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Yeah,
It's not, but oh my God. No. But at least you lived to tell the story.
Yeah, you know, and it was just crazy because I actually was with a serial killer, I guess, if I could put it like that, or robber. Because he was on the verge of trying to kill me, like shooting down the street as I ran out of the car. I left my purse and everything. He also just proceeds to shoot at me. So, yeah, it was crazy, but...
Oh, so this wasn't just an attempted robbery. He was trying to kill you.
Yeah, trying to kill me, too. And I'm trans. And one thing that he said to me was, I don't like trans, but I do like to kill him and rob him. So, that's why I say serial killer and robber, because that message right there just, yeah.
Whoa. That is literally crazy.
Yeah, really, really crazy.
I'm so sorry.
I'm happy to be here today, and I pray every day and thank God for just keeping me on this earth. But yeah, that's one of my craziest moments of my life.
Right. Yeah, I think that would win. Oh my gosh. Well, I am so glad that you made it out of that crazy situation.
Yeah,
that you're alive.
Thank you so much. Me too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully. I know you're going out tonight, so hopefully tonight and in the future you have way better luck.
Yeah, I hope I have better luck. And in Atlanta, it's been more better luck than in Cleveland, where I'm from. That's where it happened at.
Oh, it happened in Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah, it's very ghetto.
So you got out. How long have you been here in Atlanta?
I've been in Atlanta for 5 months now.
Oh, so you're a newbie.
Yeah, I'm a newbie in Atlanta. I'm fresh to the city, just trying to see what the city can bring me.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun, cool city. I think you're really gonna like it.
I hope so.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Betty, for sharing your story.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Violence against anyone who is victimized is just awful. And it would be that much worse to be targeted just because of who you are. Betty here has an amazing attitude, but there is no excuse or place at all for what she went through. I wish her nothing but peace from here forward. Our final rider today shares his love for Atlanta and really the people here as we're cruising through one of the big interstate interchanges. And I remember it was nighttime and all the buildings were lit up like Christmas trees and the traffic was moderate, so we were moving at a pretty good pace. It was a whole mood, as my daughter would say.
Story number 133. Saturday, February 6th, 2021, 11:31 p.m.
We're just driving through Atlanta. We're 85 and 75. split, and you can see the whole skyline,
Yeah.
looking glorious, loving Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I grew up here. Dad is from here, moved down, so just been an ATL boy, went to school here.
Okay.
And I just remember and we're going to a show.
Yeah.
I just remember when I would space out, my meals so I could afford a ticket and maybe a drink or something else.
Yeah.
To the shows, and it's just funny and interesting how they're much taller buildings. There are cranes because when we got started, things were still being built, still in the recovery period. And how I've grown and have the city's grown, and I can just sort of almost think about literally the way that the buildings have been completed. I can see the skyline and compare it to my own life.
Dude, that's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
it's like this parable.
For real, because back in the day the cranes were frozen. They just stopped, and then now, and I felt stopped because I had to reckon with my own self coming out and doing that whole thing, and now I feel
and just
I can do my own thing, and I can progress sort of how the city's progress, and it has helped me. I feel like I've helped it by my connections that I've gone through and grown and all that kind of stuff. So ATL is my home. I love it, and I will forever be thankful for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to point out, because sometimes a listener, as you were gliding by, might have missed. You came out as gay or okay, just want to make sure. Yes. So that's awesome. So as you were sort of finding yourself, the city was finding itself, and you were building a life while it was building its buildings. I love it.
And I was able to not be scared because I found a community on my own that supported me, even though they didn't really understand how it affected me and how their positivity and their support sort of guided me through that and allowed me to just feel things out, because sometimes things take time. And it definitely took me time. But because I was gonna, it was school. So I was gonna, let's transfer. But the electronic music started blowing up here. I was like, why would I leave the thing that in the scene and the people that got me?
So you're an EDM guy?
EDM is sort of the more is a big umbrella. So I would say I'm more into the subgenres, drum and bass, dubstep back in the day, and techno, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Not to be elitist or anything.
No, I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm ignorant, so I need the schooling. I like it.
And so just these little sub scenes and people that I would see on a repeating basis, and they just show love, because my parents and my family's amazing. They would show love. But just in terms of my going out, social scene in high school, we just weren't, as a whole, as a high school, the most nicest, loving people. And even other schools, when we would do inter-school things, would comment about how we were divided. Wow. And so finally, I came to Georgia State, welcome to Atlanta, the electronic scene, and it helped me, and I'm I would love to move, but at the same time the people keep me here.
That's awesome.
And I think that's
huge. You found your tribe, man. That's incredible.
For sure.
That's awesome.
So I love it.
Thank you for sharing your story, my man.
Anytime.
I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you for letting me get it out.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's actually my honor.
Yes.
I've got to give the ATL a lot of props for diversity. If you are into a scene, and not just musically, but really any type of particular scene, Atlanta probably has it. I may not be able to tell you exactly where to go, but you can find it here. And I really think that's one of the big things we all need as people. We need to find our tribe and to feel loved and supported. It's been a good ride today, overall. From our young lady escaping the dark side of the internet and the trans lady escaping a serial killer, to the adorable girlfriend giving a handy at school, and our lady's date getting some unwanted booty licking by her dog, I think we've covered a pretty good range of sex, or at least sex-adjacent stories. Our last rider, though, put me in a contemplative place. I could really see the parallel with his life and the growing but sometimes stuck city. That's really all of our lives. We have periods where we are exploding in new growth, and other times when we feel frozen in place. I've been so incredibly blessed and fortunate to have found my people here in the Atlanta area, just like our last rider has, and it truly makes you never want to leave. So that is my fondest wish to anyone out there listening that is craving good, deep, life-affirming community. May you find it. May you bravely invest in it. And may it lift you up to see just how good it feels to see and know and to be seen and known. Okay. Until next time, my friends. This is what happens when you are a rideshare driver in Atlanta and ask people for their stories. These weren't handpicked people with great stories. They just happened to get in my car and be gracious enough to share with all of us. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be in Atlanta and need to grab a rideshare and end up telling the rest of us the next great story on BCP. I'd actually encourage you to, every so often, just ask a stranger to share a story from their life. You never know what you might learn. I believe that our stories are powerful. They can make you laugh, cringe, cry, or even get you to think or feel differently. Our stories can truly make this world a little bit better place. So please, subscribe, rate, and listen to this podcast and share it with as many adults as possible. It would mean so much to me. First and foremost, I want to thank the incredible writers who trusted me with your stories. You're my heroes. Thanks also to all the people in the background who have believed in this project/dream. All of the music on this podcast was found on pixabay.com, and it was free, which is an amazing gift when you're starting a podcast on a shoestring budget.